Quality. The standard of something is measured against other things of a similar kind, the degree of excellence of something. Greatness. The quality of being great, distinguished, or eminent. In this video, I'll be looking at 3 shows that I'm a fan of and be discussing their downfall over time, and some will be worse than others. The first show that I would like to talk about is The Office. I'm a big fan of this show. In fact, while I was editing this video, it was playing in the background. The Office is a very funny show with great characters and a simple story, but we are not here to praise it. That's not what this video is about. Now, a lot of people will agree with me when I say that The Office declined in quality after season 7, which was when Steve Carell left the show. During Michael's time on the show, The Office was hilarious and just different in a very good way. The show took a hit from his absence. I'm not saying it wasn't funny, but compared to seasons 1 through 7, it wasn't the same. The new characters that were introduced were fine, but not as loved as Jim, Pam, and Dwight. Even when Andy was introduced, he was new, but the audience grew on him over time. Instead, we were introduced to characters like Pete, Clark, and Nellie, one of the most hated characters in the show. Don't even mention her in the Office subreddit. The only new character that I liked was Robert California. He was weird and the things he would say were funny and random. He added something different to the show.
Well, I will not be blackmailed by some ineffectual, privileged, effete, soft-penis debutante. You want to start a street fight with me, bring it on, but you're going to be surprised by how ugly it gets. You don't even know my real name. I'm the Lizard King.
I enjoyed the last 2 seasons, but the difference was obviously there, and it never felt the same after that. It felt hard to let go for what it once was. When the show ended, it felt like there could be more, but who knows what the future will bring. It was January 9th, 2011, and people tuned into Showtime to watch the American version of Shameless, which originated in Britain. I was about 10 years old when this show came out, so I was too young to watch it, but I heard that it was really good. The show was about a dysfunctional family that lived in the south side of Chicago, struggling to make ends meet. They got themselves in unusual situations, but always cared for each other. So about a couple years ago, when I was 16, I decided to watch it. The show was phenomenal. The characters, story arcs, even when the house is iconic in my opinion. But in season 8, the show took a hit. Storylines were shaky. Even characters like Lip, Fiona, and especially Debbie became a bit unlikable. Even in season 9, spoilers ahead if you haven't seen it, Fiona leaves the show, and when that happened, I lost even more interest in the show. I still watched it, but it didn't feel like the earlier seasons. The show's ending was okay, I guess. Frank was my favorite character, and the fact that he died was a bit sad. The ending was basically up to the viewer. But there is one show that I saved for last that is still on the air to this day, and has been for the past 11 years. The Walking Dead. Now this show was something else. I was once again a young fellow when this show first aired. It creeped me out, so I didn't watch it. But when season 4 came out, I decided to catch up on the show in time for its release. This show was legendary. The characters, zombies, the fallen world left to rot. Everything was perfect. It could have been a contender of one of the best shows of all time. But if that was the case, it wouldn't be included in this video. The show started to degrade around season 7. If you haven't watched Walking Dead, once again spoilers are incoming. And if you have, please keep watching. Anyway, season 7 was when the Saviors, led by Negan, were controlling the 3 main bases, Alexandria, Hilltop, and the Kingdom. The season started off very strong, with the killing of both Glenn and Abraham, 2 characters who were very much loved by the fans. From there, the season was not as action-packed or interesting as the ones that came before. Season 8 came around and it was like the same thing. Yes, there was a war between the Saviors and Rick, but the season was not exciting. It was like the same old thing. Conflict, fight, and win. There were no twists or even standout settings compared to seasons 1 through 6. Now those were amazing. Rick left halfway through season 9, and his last episode felt like the old Walking Dead, which was awesome. But after Rick's absence, the show picked up a bit. That season introduced the Whisperers, a vicious zombie-loving group, which felt refreshing because the Whisperers were such a different enemy compared to the Saviors, but they didn't last very long. Now currently, we're in season 11, and this season is not the best, but it also isn't the worst. It's also its final season of the show, so we will see how this season ends and if it improves over time. As the making of this video, The Walking Dead's 11th season is still going. Thank you for everyone for watching. This video was a lot of talking, and I mean a lot. This is the most I've ever spoken in any of my videos. If you've stuck around and care for what I have to say, please consider subscribing and liking. See you in the next one. Peace.